Peace and love, family. This is going to be a quick little message. But Spirit said, you've just been emancipated. I heard emancipated from your family. So many of you still have family that was basically holding on to your energy. Okay. And the way that it works is you were subconsciously holding on to them by carrying their burdens, by thinking that you owed them something. Okay. And that allowed them to keep this cord attached to you. You've been carrying around this unnecessary burden. Now, I guarantee that if you do this meditation, it's going to help you feel a lot lighter because these cords, they need to be cut. And as an empath, this can happen instantly, okay? Because you start feeling compassionate for people, then you start taking on their problems and their issues, okay? There's nothing wrong with feeling compassionate, but everyone has to carry their own burdens, okay? That's for them to do the work to learn how to let go of that energy. You're not meant to carry anybody's energy. You're not meant to carry anybody's burdens, worries, okay? Doubts or fears. So the sacral chakra could also be significant. I have my sacral chakra mantras playing in the background. Also, you could be estranged from your family, okay? So this is a spiritual emancipation that's happening. And for many of you, it's a literal emancipation, but it's also going to be a future emancipation for some of you. So some of you haven't emancipated from your old life, from your old friends, from your old family. And Spirit said, you owe them nothing, okay? The only person that you owe is yourself. You owe it to yourself to be happy, all right? Now, I'm feeling that energy because my mind tried to tell me that there was something wrong with being happy. Now, this is good because we're going to utilize this for the exercise. This is you getting in touch with your body. This next era is you communicating with your body because your body literally is always communicating with you. This is why many of you don't like to sit in stillness because your body goes haywire, right? Because it finally gets a moment to try to tell you everything that it's been trying to tell you. Like all of the things that you've been thinking, that you've been going through, that you've been suppressing. It all tries to come up at once. And this can be very intense. So the first thing that you want to do is to ground your meditation in the knowing that you are God. There can be no doubt about this. None. Okay? I'm hearing what you're doing is slaying demons. I'm going to teach you how to slay demons right now. Okay? So once you feel grounded enough in the knowingness that you are God, the next step is for you to know that all fear, all anxiety, all doubt, all worry, all depression, all of it is a lie. It's 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 a lie. I'm going to tell you why it's a lie. Because you're the one that's creating the manifestations of it in your life. It's you. Okay? So once you stop believing in these things, you can remove them from your reality and from your energetic field. So you have to know that they're a lie because many people, they start giving them stories. Oh, I'm feeling anxiety. I must have anxiety. I must be anxious and da-da-da. Now you're affirming these things and you're speaking to your cells. Okay? So you must know that they're a lie, which is why you speak health, you speak life, okay, into your body. You speak divine wisdom into your body so that it can come back to the remembrance that it is God. So it is whole, it is healthy, it is strong, it is powerful, it is confident. There is not an ask, there is not a question, it is a knowing. So when you say these things, you affirm them, okay? So now we're going to go to the next step. Okay, so a minute ago, I talked about the deservingness of being happy, right? And I told you that I felt in my solar plexus and sacral chakra a bit of a blockage. Now, what a blockage is really just a blockage in your breathing because your breath holds so much power. It is like your manifesting wand. So if you don't feel confident, it blocks your breathing. This is when you have anxiety. This is when you have shortness of breath. There's so many different issues that can derive from not breathing, okay? And usually when you're in a state of fight, flight, and freeze, what happens? You stop breathing, okay? You go into panic attacks and anxiety attacks. So this is why, once again, you cannot give these things power anymore. And like I said, when I said it, I felt that energy. So what you do when you feel it, this is good. Okay, this is like your own personal diagnosis. Your body is letting you know where you're holding lies, where you're holding stagnant energy. So what you can simply do, don't give it a story. You just start saying, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. It's a lie. That's all you need to do. Your body is going to respond. Because for so long, you've been telling your body that that feeling is accurate, is legitimate. And you were feeding it stories, so then it became an identity. Okay? So now, once you start telling it it's a lie, it's going to throw it off. It's like, wait. Okay? And now, once you get it in that state of it's a lie, you feel your body reacting, now you feed it the truth. Okay? I am deserving of happiness. You say it with sternness as a command because you're reteaching your body. Okay? So your body is not the teacher. You are the teacher. You're teaching your body how to respond to life by teaching it the truth and removing all lies, which is why you don't have to give a lie a story. You just let it go. Message. Now, the one belief or blockage that they really want me to speak on is what I touched on initially, that there was still a cord, okay? There was still a cord between your family, between some friends, between some people, where they've been pulling on your energy and making you feel as though you have to carry their burdens. You have energetically been carrying around their gunk. That's what Spirit is saying. So it's time for you to recognize it by recognizing that you are not responsible for anyone. It's time to give yourself permission to let go of that duty, of you taking care of everybody, of you feeling like you owe people, of feeling like you have to sacrifice yourself. You have to let that go. Once again, do not attach yourself to it as an identity. That was a lie, okay? You learned as a child that you had to take on adults' responsibilities, and you never learned how to be a child. So right now, you're reteaching yourself how to be a child again, how to be happy again, okay? So don't let anybody put their burdens on you. You do what you want to do. You are a sovereign being. You deserve to be happy. Because happiness is your birthright. You're God. All you have to do is create it. And it starts with you knowing that it's already in you, okay? It's an energy, just like anything else. Happiness is not necessarily things. You have to start looking at all energy as available to you immediately. Abundance is not necessarily things. It's a feeling. Happiness is not necessarily things. It's a feeling. Joy is not necessarily things. It's a feeling. So what you're doing is cultivating the emotion of just feeling whole. Wholeness. Wholeness is what you are achieving. I feel it so much. I swear, like in my solar, this energy is just coming up. And it is going to feel a little weird, okay? But it's just energy. Okay, it's being released. It's been suppressed for so long. So just once again, remind yourself that you're safe. If it gets really intense, just take a moment, breathe. Like I said, it's important to take deep, confident breaths. See yourself like literally plucking out any blockages, like you're pushing out that blockage with your confidence. Okay, you're literally pulling that energy up, because most of that suppression is in your belly. It's in your root. You're pulling it up when you breathe. which is why I said suck in your stomach. Imagine you're alchemizing that as power and energy that's coming up. Don't judge anything as good or bad. I'm sorry to bust your bubble, but everything is energy. Everything is energy. God is energy. Okay? God is energy. You're just recognizing how to utilize your energy because you've been misusing your energy. Okay? People have been siphoning your energy, which is why you haven't been getting the results that you want. But once you learn how to take back your energy, once you learn how to sit in your energy, Spirit is saying, then you will be able to alchemize it. But you have to be able to sometimes sit with the pain without identifying with it. That is the key. It won't scare you if you don't identify with it. Okay? And it shouldn't scare you anyway because, like I said, don't see it as bad. See everything as good. Why? Because good is God. Good is God. Which is why you're moving towards more goodness as opposed to focusing on quote unquote evil. You're moving towards your godness. So, yes, goodness is your default state. Goodness. So stop expecting bad. Stop identifying with those stories. Speak it into existence. This is a lie. I let you go immediately with love. And give it to the angels. They're here to support you. They're a part of the game. Source has gifted them to us, okay, as a part and extension of you. Source is an extension of you as well. So all of this is you assisting you. So don't see it as something outside of you or something you have to be afraid of. They are also you. Because everything is source. But once again, once you identify where the energy is coming from, okay, I want you to close your eyes, focus on that area with love. Listen to what your body is saying. What is the resistance saying? Is it saying, I don't feel like I'm good enough? I don't feel like I'm safe enough? I feel like I have to compete with people? What is it? Let it speak to you. And then I want you to tell it, that is a lie. I want you to be stern. Repeat it so that your mind registers it. Okay? So once again, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. I want you to be convincing to yourself. Okay? You need to convince your younger self, all of those old versions of yourself, that you've been living by a lie, okay? And once you do that, then once again, you're going to reaffirm the truth, which is that you are worthy, you are deserving, you are lovable, whatever it is, okay? Now, I want you to tell yourself you are safe, you are safe, you are safe as you're saying this. Okay? Because what you're doing is you're switching off the fight, flight, and freeze so that your body can receive the information that you're trying to give it, which is the truth. Okay? It's not going to receive it if you're still all anxious and tensed up. So, once again, your body is your friend now. This requires patience, setting aside time, mindfulness, focus. Because like I said, the foundation needs to be you not identifying with your body, you identifying with your godness, okay? And realizing that you're simply retraining your body. It's not your fault. It's not your body's fault, right? But you're working together to make sure that you have the best life that's possible, right? We can't change the past, but we can take control of our own lives. We can change our own destinies. And it's by, once again, reprogramming your body, getting everything in alignment. And like I said, just once again, reaffirming you are greatness. You are God. You are confident, whatever it is, okay? And one thing that you can also use, so if your body is still kind of rejecting the information, right? Because it should calm down a bit once you do the I am safe, I am safe, I am safe, and you really allow yourself to feel safe and to know that you are safe, right? Because you're God. So of course you're safe. You're in control of everything. And the only thing that you need to do right now to hone in that peace, okay, which brings in the power. You'll feel more powerful and more confident when you're at peace. Okay, so that's why you're doing this. But you can use affirmations. If that still doesn't work, okay, that's the last tool. Go ahead and use those affirmations, which is just, why am I so happy? But you're not asking, right? Even though it's an affirmation, it's a statement. Why am I so freaking happy? That's what it's given, right? Now your body, since it wants something to do, right? Because I told you that nervous system, that's why it doesn't want to calm down, because it's so used to doing stuff. So give it something to do. Give it excitement, right? Give it like a little scavenger hunt, okay? And that's what you do when you say these affirmations. Why am I so happy? Now your mind is going to go looking for all of the things that make you happy, the reasons that you're happy, okay? And that's going to start building up different hormones of happiness. So utilize those affirmations. And once again, know that it is done. That is the other thing they're saying. Know that everything is happening in the now. So you have to get in that energy of embodying nowness. You're not waiting for anything. You're already a billionaire. It's inside of you. You have to literally see it inside of you like a thing already, like a baby.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. It'll never happen again. I overslept. I apologize. It's irresponsible on my behalf. If I do it again, fire me. I respect people that can do that, because I can't do that, because I'm a fucking liar. I am. If I'm late, something happened. I don't give a shit. Something drastic happened. Yo, dude, sorry I'm late. I was on the highway, and the fucking baby was running on the highway. Yeah, I know, right? Shit's crazy. So I get out the car, I start chasing the baby. In my mind, I'm like, why you running, baby? That's what I'm thinking, right? But I'm like, what do you do? Because I can't just grab the baby and throw the baby in the car. That's kidnapping. I fuck around and go to jail. So I had to make a decision. I was like, shit, what do I do? So I decided to adopt the baby. What I did was, I downloaded this app on my iPhone, this Adopt the Baby app, right? I put the barcode on the baby head. Boop. That way the baby knew he was my baby. I put the baby in the car. I go to pull off. I turn around. A deer was running towards the car. So I'm like, oh, shit. This deer is about to eat the baby. That's what I'm thinking, right? But then I look closer. I noticed the front part of the deer was a deer. The back half was a zebra. It was half deer, half zebra. So I'm like, oh, shit. It's a deer, bro. Like, that's what I'm thinking. It's a fucking deer, bro. So I call a zoo. I'm like, yo, it's a fucking deer, bro, out here.
Okay. It's a baby. It just hasn't been birthed out of you, right? But you know it's a baby. It's already there. You can see it in the sonogram. So that's how you have to treat your manifestations. Maybe they haven't been birthed out as of yet into the world, but they're inside of you. So you're not waiting on anything. Everything happens in the now. That's all that exists. So only nowness. No more of that looking out into the future, waiting for something to happen. Everything is happening now, because that's how you're going to get yourself to feel that excitement. When you're waiting for stuff, you're in an energy of anxiety. When you're receiving, when you're in that moment, you celebrate.